This video is going to be a beginner tutorial on how to start investing with BetaShares Direct, one of the newest offerings by BetaShares. I'm assuming that your account is already created. The sign up process is very simple, so let's jump into it. So once you sign up, you'll see this dashboard screen right here. The very first thing you want to do is deposit your money. So go up here and click on deposit. It'll show the BSB and account number of your specific BetaShares account that you need to transfer money into. So it's very simple. Go to your internet banking, do a quick bank transfer, make sure that you enter the BSB and account number that's right here, make sure that it's all correct, and within seconds the payment should come through. I transferred $100 into my BetaShares wallet on a Sunday and it came through pretty much instantly. Once it's gone through, you'll get an email confirmation from BetaShares as well, confirming that the transfer has gone through. Once you've done that, what you want to do is go into the invest tab, which is right here, and then it will show a list of investments that BetaShares has to offer. Of course, you can buy other ETFs with BetaShares Direct as well, but given that this product is from BetaShares, they've done a very intentional job to make sure that they only display their products because they want to promote their products and whatnot. So you can see that there are flagship funds like the NDQ, which is a very popular ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100 index over in the US. You've got A200, which tracks the ASX 200 in Australia, and you've got some other funds as well. Now going down, you can invest based on your investment goals too. So if you want to invest for the long term, if you're just starting out, if you are focused on income, if you want to diversify your portfolio or invest responsibly, those options are there as well. And there's some other opportunities that you can look into down here too. Now, for the purpose of this video, what we're going to do is just focus on the first ETF right here, just to keep everything simple. So I'll click on NDQ and go into its actual page. So looking at this page, it can definitely seem very overwhelming. So let's jump into it and break everything down. So the first thing we're going to do is focus on the performance tab. So we can see the 1 year return, the total return for this ETF has been 25%. We can filter this by different time periods. 6 months return is 17.55%. The last day return for this ETF has been negative 0.06%. So we can filter this based on time periods to see the performance over time. Now, something to note with this ETF is the fact that it has been around for longer than 5 years. It's been around, I think, since 2015, but BetaShares have decided to just make it all standardized and put it up until 5 years as the max term, which is exactly why you need to do your own research when looking at which ETFs to buy. We can also filter our returns by price as well. So we can see that for the same time period for 1 year return, the return has been 23.35% per year. Now, interestingly, what you'll find is the return here is 23%, but when we looked at the total return for this ETF, it was around 25%. So why is there a roughly 2% difference between the price return and the total return? Well, the price return right here only takes into account the percentage gain only in terms of the price. So the price movement, which is the actual gain of the ETF, it doesn't take into account any distributions that an ETF might pay, which is kind of like dividend. Now, for this specific ETF, NDQ pays dividends or distributions twice per year, one in January and one in July. So once we take those distributions into account as well, the total return shifts up to 25% for the last year, taking into account both income as well as the actual gain in the price. So that's basically the historical return. Now, scrolling down, we can see some other info, market info, and we can see a whole bunch of prices here. So let's dive into these. Firstly, we've got the bid price. This is just another word for buy price. It is the highest price that buyers are willing to pay to buy this asset. Ask is another word for sell price. It is the lowest price that the sellers are willing to accept to sell this security. Now, of course, bid price will be lower than ask price because buyers want to pay as little as possible to buy this security, and oppositely, ask price is going to be a bit higher than bid price because sellers want to sell this asset for as high as possible. And as we know, buy low, sell high. And you'll often find that the market price is usually somewhere in between the bid price and the ask price. So for this specific scenario, we can see that the price is $51.24, being exactly in the middle of the bid price and the ask price. Volume is basically the amount of units of this ETF that were traded in the given day. Open price is what price this ETF first opened up at when the market first opened. High price is the highest price this ETF went to in the given trading day, and low price is the lowest price that this ETF went to in the same day. And previous close refers to the previous price the ETF closed up at in the previous trading day. So that is enough about prices. Scrolling down, we can see some other information about this ETF, like fees, sectors, what it tracks, and the top holdings as well. We can see it's got Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft as the top holdings. NDQ is quite tech heavy. Now, I'm not going to go into all of this because I've already covered this in depth in a separate video of mine. I'll leave a link in description which dives into NDQ specifically, and also some other major BetaShares ETFs for you guys to research and look into. Scrolling up, we can see market depth. Now, this talks about what the buyers and sellers are willing to pay at this point in time. We can see the different price points that buyers are willing to pay and what the volume is, so what they're willing to buy this ETF for. So we can see for the volume of 9, this could be one buyer, it could be multiple buyers, but there are 9 units waiting to be bought at the price of $51.23. We can see that there is quite a lot of volume on the buy side at $51.20. Normally you find that when the prices come to an even number, like if it's a multiple of 5 or 10, there usually seems to be quite a lot of activity on the buy side as well as the sell side. And this is definitely very evident here. We can see 51.20, 1600 units, 51.15, 1300 units compared to the other prices here. Now, let's talk about placing an order and getting started with investing. Firstly, we'll start off with a market order. Now, if you place a market order, your order will execute at whatever the best ask price is, meaning that the order will execute immediately at whatever the prevailing price is, at whatever the sellers are willing to sell it for. Now, in my specific example, if I want to invest my $400, the good thing about BetaShares is that I can put $100 in and it actually calculates the estimated quantity that is going to be bought with these funds. And we can see it is not quite 2 units, it is 1.95. So the good thing is you can buy fractional units of your favorite ETFs with BetaShares. So this could be a cool feature if you've made a goal for yourself to invest a set amount every single fortnight, every single week or month. You don't have to do the guesswork and calculate what the units are and really do the maths. You can just put in the amount and this system will automatically work out what units you'll be buying. On the other hand, of course, you can also add in your individual units too. If I type in 2 units, obviously it's not going to work because it's going to cost more than what I have in my wallet. So I can really only buy 1 unit. So if I want to invest my $400, the best thing to do is to place a market order with the $100 as the overall total amount. So in summary, market orders are the easiest, no frills, no fuss orders you can place, but the drawback is that the price that you're going to be paying may not be the best price for the ETF. You don't really have much control. Your order will just get executed at whatever the sellers are willing to sell for. But if you want more control in what you're buying, you want to place a limit order. So to do that, we'll just select limit from the drop down, and this basically means that you will place an order according to the limit that you've set. So in a buy situation, what I can do is I can place a limit on the order. So if I want to buy for, let's say, $51.10, the order will execute at a maximum of $51.10 or lower if the price has gone lower. So for example, in the next trading day, if this ETF opens up at, let's say, $49, then this ETF will likely execute around the $49 mark. And oppositely, if the market opened up quite high and this ETF opened up at, let's say, $52, then this ETF will not go through and my order will stay in the market until my selected expiry. So we can see, we can choose the expiry as well. So we can choose end of next trading day and up to 60 days if we want to. So this order will stay in the market for up to 60 days until it expires or until I cancel it. Now, if you're somebody like me and you're investing for the long term, you want to make sure that you're investing at regular intervals if that is your strategy. So a good thing that you can do with BetaShares is to place a recurring order, and this is essentially an auto invest feature. With this, it is actually very simple. You can select the frequency that you want. So I would recommend that if you're getting paid fortnightly, you sync it up fortnightly. So you invest your money as soon as you get paid and you pay yourself first, which is a very good financial principle, I guess. So we'll select fortnightly. We can even select the start date that we want this schedule to begin. So if I'm getting paid, well, my next payday is going to be on the 5th of March. So I'll select that. And if I want to invest a certain percentage of my paycheck, let's say $500, then it'll invest this much, which is going to be 9.75 units. Now for this example, I'm going to place a limit order and get on with it. So we will place a limit order of, let's say, $50 at 2 units, and the expiry is going to be 60 days. Next step is to press review, and you'll be granted with this screen that basically confirms what you're trying to do. So it's a limit order, quantity is 2, $50 average price, expiry is in 2 months from now, order value is $100. And the good thing is with BetaShares Direct, you won't be paying any brokerage, which is great. So what we'll do is we will then confirm the order. And just like that, the order is placed, and this order will stay in the market for 60 days or less if the order gets executed. Now, one more important thing to note here is that you'll find that it says enable reinvestments. Now, as we mentioned earlier, NDQ does pay a semi-annual dividend January and July. So what you can do with BetaShares is easily change if you want the money to be paid into your BetaShares wallet or for it to be automatically reinvested in more units of NDQ. So this is very similar to a dividend reinvestment plan that you would find with shares, but in this scenario, of course, it is with ETFs. So this feature will automatically try and invest your distributions into further units of NDQ. And from memory, in July, NDQ does pay quite a bigger dividend or distribution than what it does in January. So the people that are invested in this and they have this activated, they should be able to get some units of this ETF without doing anything. Now, if you've placed an order by mistake or you want to cancel it or make changes, do not panic. You can do that as well, provided that the order has not gone through already. So what you want to do is go to the activity tab, click on your order, and you can see you've got options to either cancel or edit. If you click on edit, you can change a few things about the order, like the actual price you're buying it for, the units, and the expiry. But if you don't want to edit, you can cancel, of course, and the cancellation process is quite simple. Press cancel, cancel the order, and that's it. The order is cancelled, and we can see that the money is now back into our wallet, ready to be invested again into other assets or this asset or whatever you like. And there you go, guys. Happy investing. Subscribe if you found value.